ladies and gentlemen. Leonetti!
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, you guys have been great. Thank you so very, very much. You guys actually been super. You know, a lot of people ask me all the time. They say, you know, Mike, I got to ask you a question. You know what I mean? Do you have any family that was like ever in the Catholic religion? I go, yeah. See, I had a great uncle. Believe it or not, his name is Antonio Scola. Okay. Cardinal Antonio Scola. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he was a cardinal in Naples, Italy. And my grandmother was very proud of him, and she really believed that they were going to make him the Pope. But he never got the job as the Pope. Do you know why? Because they'd have called him Pope Scola. Anyway, stick back. Don't move. That's all I had. We'll be right back.
Go with Melissa.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Michael Leonetti Show. Boy, am I excited today. How do you feel, Melissa?
Excited, too.
Well, you look very pretty.
Thank you.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me thank my sponsors, Mr. Bob Keller. Bobby. I love you, pal. You are the best. In the West, you're the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Fisto. You're the man with the plan, the Gita with the heater. You like those?
I love every one of those. Can you repeat that, please?
No. We like to thank WeLink, which is fiber optics, which is my brother. And naturally, we have a wonderful young lady that's sitting next to me. She's the daughter. I always say the daughter that I lost. God brought her into my life. She's been spectacular. And it's gowithmelissa.com. And it goes, go with Melissa, Melissa.com. Phenomenal. Anyway, we got a great show today. Don't forget to subscribe, subscribe, like, share. What was that? Subscribe, like, share. That's crazy.
How many people do you think are going to do that?
What's that?
Let's do it one more time. It's share.
Subscribe. Forget about it. Anyway, don't forget my book, ladies and gentlemen, Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. It's the story of my life, and there's going to be a movie very, very soon on my life, which I'm very, very excited about. And the book is, how much is the book on, was it $30?
It's about 30-something, yep.
Yeah, and just remember, all the money goes to the church. And November 8th, I will be performing at the St. George Cathedral, Orthodox Cathedral, with the magnificent guys in the band, Mike DeBarry, Steve Johnson, Father Frank Fabio, and little Joey Farina. Then I got Monique will be in the show, also twice as nice, doing Motown. 1 hour of Motown, and my buddy, which is to my opinion, one of the greatest entertainers ever hit the stage, Mr. Sal Santiago. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce two phenomenal guys, phenomenal gentlemen. Mr. Sal Santiago. Sal, how you doing?
Hello, Mikey. How are you? Hi, Melissa.
Yeah, Sal's the best. We know him as the 5 Minutes of Fame guy. If he, he's on every TV show.
I thought it was a 10-minute
10 Minutes of Fame. And my buddy Robert Lacy from the Academy.
Yep.
Manifest Academy. Well, you guys are great, man. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for the invitation. We appreciate it.
You know, Sal, I got to ask you a question. I'm going to be honest with you. We go to breakfast every morning. You're one of my best friends in the whole world. I'm very fortunate to have that. I had the other Sal Sorelli.
I remember him.
And Sal, through the grace of God, went back to Philly. He had cancer, and he beat it.
Yeah, God bless.
Sal was like my brother Anthony to me. And to me, you are the most ultimate entertainer. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because there's nobody that I know, and before I say my statement, I specialize in one style of what Vegas was long ago. I'm the best in what I do. I'm a hard-hitting, punching son of a mother. Can't say it.
No.
But I can knock you out in the first round. But you, with your music, you do Latin, rock, country. Motown,
yes.
Bluegrass,
Yes, I do.
blue-green.
The green grass.
Green grass.
Kentucky Blue.
Kentucky Blue. You do every kind of genre that there is. When you played for me,
Yes, I did.
there was not an audience in town that you could not play for. And all the years that I've been in business, I've never seen anybody that versatile that does that good. And I say this with respect. Why are you so cheap? How come you don't buy me breakfast? Because people have been asking me. I always
Because you eat too much. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't eat nuggets. I don't eat nothing. What are you talking about? What am I talking about?
I'm not wealthy like you are. You know what?
I'm so broke I can't pay attention. What are you talking about? Next to you, Sal, is a gentleman that I became very friendly with. He's a master, ladies and gentlemen. He's a true entrepreneurial genius because he has a school called the Academy, Manifest Academy. And I got to tell you something. What's his name?
Matt Rose.
No. No. Robert Lacy. It's an inside joke.
You're like,
That
what?
was good, though. That was good. You're learning, kid.
That was good.
You're learning. Robert Lacy. Bobby, thank you so much for... it's an Italian
brother.
thing. Bobby, you're not an
No,
Italian.
I appreciate that. My grandfather called me Robbie, and most people that aren't black call me Bob.
What's that? Well, I mean...
Yeah, a lot of friends are like, Bob.
But the Italians call you Bob. Tell everybody in TV, because we got the whole segment, it's you two guys, and I'm going to give you, an opportunity to really tell everybody what you do besides Sal being so cheap. What?
So the Academy, Manifest Academy, is for artist development for youth ages 6 to 18 years old, and it's educational components like songwriting, and then we have stage development. We throw a show called Uprising. Our next show is going to be at Area 15 on May 4th. It's on Sunday from 1 to 4. We accept donations. It's one of our primary donation fundraisers, and so we're just out here just really trying to change lives. My mission right now is I'm in prisons, youth prisons. So I meet every Saturday with a group of young men, 6 or 8 kids, ages, usually they're like 16, 17, and they're doing about 6 to 8 months. And we do an 8-week program, and I bring in a mobile studio, and we do poetic learning. We learn all the poetic devices. We learn songwriting styles. I teach them business of music, and hopefully when they get out, they can join us on the outside and take their careers to the next level.
Well, it's funny you should say that because the pretty girl that's next to me, Miss, what's her name?
Matt Rose?
Matt Ross. No, Melissa. She goes to the prisons too.
Okay.
I was just there last night.
And I want to tell you something from a spiritual point of view, because I have a sister-in-law that does some serious Father Godding.
Yeah.
I mean, she's out there. My sister-in-law's in prayer all the time.
That's
she
amazing.
prays when she gets up. She prays with my brother. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I'm not trying to be funny, but they're very spiritually.
I love that.
Sound, you know what I mean? And when they come for dinner in my house, and everybody holds hands. She does a benediction, and by the time she's done prayer, and we're in our dessert, we're eating dessert, and she's still praying. That's how serious. That's what my my sister-in-law does.
Prayer warrior.
She's more than a prayer warrior, boy. She's serious.
She got direct access.
She's got direction. Listen, so tell them what you do out there, because you guys can do the same thing.
I was going to say, so I take care of prison ministry, jail ministry as well. And so we're looking to get in with the juvies at the moment, but I handle the men and the women.
Oh, so you're in the adult prisons?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
And some here in town, they actually have the juvies, and so, but they're not being seen by us, so we have been requesting and looking to speak with them, which is
extremely hard. I waited at least 8 months.
Yeah.
Like, well, I did my thing, and I was just like waiting. I was like, oh, please God.
Well, if you get yourself in trouble, you'll have no problem getting in.
Right.
The thing is, you have a problem getting out.
Right,
That's where
right.
the problem comes in at. They welcome you real fast. They open up the doors. Come on down. They go like this. Cell 20.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's really funny when I explain to them about Psalms, how it's all biblical music. The whole, all of it,
song-based.
Right. It's all song-based from David, and so they kind of like, really, okay, and maybe Jesus is kind of cool now. It gets into that realm, and I'm like, all right. And it's always the ones in the corner of the room when it comes down to saying Psalms that I'm like, any singers in the room, and all of a sudden there's one. I kind of know. I kind of blast out these like vocals. You're like, wow. Okay, then, what are you doing after this? When you get out of here and figure out your life, because I think you have a talent.
Those talents are suppressed, and sometimes they just take the wrong paths, and those talents never get discovered because there's poor choices. But that doesn't mean it's over.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. I only take one mistake sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of what I see there, though, is they just don't know. They were not educated to know the truth of what's good and bad. So I kind of just start with the basics first time I go in, if they're, in my class, where it's, do we understand the Ten Commandments and what they are, and what is a sin? A lot of people just, it's a question mark. So I say, well, simply a sin is just pissing God off. Don't do it.
Right. No,
let's start from that. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's the ministry called?
Well, I'm with St. Joan of Arc Catholic Ministry.
Okay.
It's actually right across the street from the detention center, but we we handle a couple of the prisons here.
Well, I want you to hold that thought, everybody, because when we come back, I want to get serious. Okay, we're going to talk about some serious stuff. So I want you to take your time, get your coffee, get ready. I was checking my wallet to make Sal was here. I'm going to make sure I still had it, because the last time I was here, he used it for something. I have no idea. But don't move. We'll be right back. Don't move. We'll be right back.
This is Anthony from WeLink Internet, home of the super fast fiber optic speeds. Are you paying too much for your internet? Is your service slow? Is your bill outrageous and keep going up? Well, look no further. WeLink Internet has you covered. Not only do we have super fast speeds, unbelievable customer service, but our price is usually a lot lower than anyone else. Give me a call to see if your home is available, and I will give you 30 days free to try out our service with free installation, and all the equipment will be included with no rental fees. Give me a call now to get you set up with WeLink Internet.
We're back, everybody, and I found my wallet. Thank God. I fell on the floor. We talk about...
I didn't charge too much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You talk about what you guys are doing. Everybody knows 25 years ago I went to prison.
Yeah.
But what I did was amazing, because I dealt with the Crips, the Bloods, the Sereno, the Paisa, the Border Bros, A-Dubs, Nevada Treses, every gang member you can possibly imagine. And I did plays. Biblical plays. I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't a playwright. I didn't know the first thing about the plays. I didn't know anything about it. But God used me in a very powerful way. And the first play I did was the story of Job. It was incredible. And to do that, when I see what you kids are doing, it touches my heart, because it gives them an opportunity for these young people to see what is going on our outside world today. Because what's happening, everybody, it's bad. It's bad. It's not to be believed.
More challenging than I initially thought it was going to be, because I'm just like this, let's bring hope and optimism and bring it in there. We're just going to change all these lives. But there's so many layers to it. Like, what do they do when they get out?
Right.
And a lot of reasons why they're in there is because they're trying to make money the fast way, right? And so how do we get them workforce placement when they get out? How do we get them tied into things so they don't have the allure of going back into street life? And that it's such a a bigger task than I thought, but I'm up for it, and I'm learning more, and God's equipping me with the resources and the people to connect the dots.
You know, I truly believe with all my heart and soul, and I'm 73 years old, that I'll see the coming of Christ.
Amen.
Because what's happening with the world, as you can see, it's not going to. It cannot continue to be like this. I'm in the entertainment business. Sal's in the entertainment business. I'm the last of what Las Vegas used to be many, many years ago. You know what I mean? And there's a show on the Strip called the Rat Pack. Okay, they're at the Tuscany, and I don't mind mentioning it. That place is packed all the time.
Okay.
But the demographics of the people that are there, they're not my age. These are kids that are 20, 30 years old because they want a taste of Las Vegas. They want a taste of what this town is. And like I said, if I may, how old are you, Bobby?
I'm 41.
You got 40 years to play with.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm on borrowed time. You understand? I'm on third base.
Understood.
You know what I mean? 73. So if God gives me another 7, never 8 strong ones that I can still pop and make and to do something. And I look at Sal. When Sal's performing, no matter where he performs at and what he does, he brings excitement and happiness. These are the places that we go to. And I don't want to knock anybody down because I'm a stickler with that. These are lousy people. They don't belong on stage. I mean, but there's nobody else that's out there. Guys our age retired. They're finished. They got shows out there where you do a show and you can sit on the couch and you talk about. That's not a show. The people that are going to come and see me on the, you know what I mean, when I'm performing in November. Once you come, you were at my show. You seen it?
Phenomenal, bro.
It's popping.
Yeah.
You know, take a seatbelt with you. That's how Vegas was. There's nothing left in town. Nothing. You know, and hotels are scrambling. Years ago, it was called the Borscht Belt. The Borscht Belt was a Jewish thing in the Catskills. I was 14. All the Jewish people, they were comedians, and all the Italians were the singers. Now it's called the Meatball Circuit. You ever hear of the Meatball Circuit?
No, I heard of the chicken
Every Italian restaurant has a band. It's a band. And then what these guys do, these stupid guys that own these places, they get a group and they say, how many people are you going to bring in? It's not the entertainer's job to bring anybody in.
Right.
It's the people that I own the restaurant.
Yep.
It was my
the promoter,
job
the venue,
to pack that place with the food, then bring a guy like Sal in or my band and do the rest. It's just like different places I have performed at. You know, we did that opera concert. Remember the opera concert that we did?
And that's cultural, and I think what they're missing is the cultural element, the experience.
Without a question.
Element. And so it's just like, oh, let's just get this name, and then that's going to draw. But what keeps sustainability and consistency and growth is culture. So that's why I commend y'all for carrying the torch and being excellent musicians and examples for us.
Truthfully, you have to say, so what legacy did you want to leave? Because I want to tell you something. I'm going to be very honest with you. The greatest thing is I cooked for Sinatra. I've been in Vegas 50 years. What I have done in my life, men dream about doing.
Yeah.
Listen to me, Bobby. They dream about doing one. And now the guys can never walk the walk that I walked to do all that time behind, prison walls and change the hearts of men. The greatest thing I've ever done in my entire life, beside my lovely wife, Laura, that came into my life, my brother that came into my life, Melissa that came into my life, Sal, and some other very special friends, is the plays. To see the play, when I did those biblical plays and seeing these murderers and thieves and the worst that society looked at, they would walk out of that church and they would look at me and they would say, touch my heart, Mike. You touched my heart. You really touched my heart. With tears in their eyes. That is an achievement.
Right.
When you're an entertainer and you play for an audience that does not know you, and they stand up and say bravo, that is an achievement. Your friends will say you're great. Your friends will say we love you.
Give you the,
listen, it happens. These places in town, they got the same people that go see them. I call them the Q-tips, the Q-tip crew. You ever see a bunch of people in there? They're all my age. They all got. You look from the back, they look at Q-tip.
I love those crowds.
Yeah, you love those crowds.
Yeah, I do.
I never heard that term though. That's
the
hilarious.
Q-tips.
That's so cool.
That's all they got is Q-tips. I mean,
it was a profound thing for me because I was like, older people gather and they get
Yeah.
together and like
Of course.
but like in large groups, and I've never seen it before. Like it was very rare. I was like, this is cool.
Well, you gotta listen, in life you gotta make a statement, because when we come back, Sal hasn't said too much on this segment. He's just been looking and watching, because how I met Sal, I know Sal for years. I was in Mexico and I hear, help me, help, and I looked up and there's a kid on a wall. I said, what are you doing up here? He said, please went like this. I said, jump, jump. And he jumped over the wall, and I grabbed him. I said, what's your name? He said, my name is Sal Santiago. I'm a singer. I said, well, I can give you a job. I said, you have any identification? He said, no, I left my wallet behind the wall. He said, I'm only teasing. Sal's a good-hearted guy. Sal always,
I thought it was a real story.
You really I'm checking the whole time.
What are you going to say about that, Sal? What do you want to say about
You have
that?
to go on a break.
No, don't worry about it. I got 3 minutes. Go ahead, Sal. What do you want to say about it?
Oh man, I tell you, Mike, I've known you for a lot of years, and thank you for what you do and all the stuff that you did. But you know, we were talking about the entertainment field and the entertainment business and the things that you've done, which is amazing. You know, I mean, but our era and the time has changed so much. You know, that you mentioned about, you know, there's no entertainers out there anymore. Either they left us, or they're on the road performing, or they're doing other things. They retire, but. You know, it just, I'm hoping that, you know, and it just, the positive thinking of me, that it will come back. You know, maybe the new generation would appreciate the live music instead of going to the, you know, to the, well, in my days were the discos, but now it's called the clubs.
Yeah.
You know, with all the DJs doing the stuff and paying, you know, thousands of dollars, you know, to go see, you know, somebody spinning records or whatever you call it. And, you know, and it's a little sad to see our era kind of, you know, diminishing, you know, but I think it comes with, you know, the demographic of our, you know, of the people that live here. Some of the like the, you know, the tourists, they are looking for that. They are coming to expecting to see Vegas the way it used to be, you know, the entertainment capital of the world.
There's
you know,
demand
with
for
all
it.
that stuff, you know. Now you just don't see that any longer. You know, you know, most of the entertainment directors, like you said before, they're either part of the marketing group or they're part of the food and beverage. They don't know anything about entertainment, and they don't care, really. You know, they rather put the lounge away and put some machines in there, which is going to generate more money than the entertainment will, because there's no entertainment, you know. And like I said, the only entertainment that they have here in Vegas anymore is the big name headliner that can pack a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 square, I mean, auditorium, and pay, you know, $10,000 for a ticket, some of them.
Right.
You know, some
And
of
they
them
pay
like
it.
that. And they do pay it.
And
you know?
they pay it.
But they're not going to go into a lounge to listen to me or to anybody else, like because there's not a, you know, an
Right.
audience for that.
So,
know?
but you play, but is there anybody that you would actually go to see and
Yes,
watch?
me. He would
There's-
go-
Well, we know that. That's the
There's
given.
a
That's
handful
the
of people that definitely I would, you know, go see. But the unfortunate thing about it is they're not here all the time. You know, the ones that are active in the business, they got to go somewhere else in order to make a living. You know, if most of them do enough to make a living, they either have to travel, get on the road, you know, and perform in other areas. You know, a couple of them would be Branson, Missouri, which that I think I consider to be, you know, the entertainment capital of the world now. We became the gaming capital of the world, the restaurant capital of the world anymore. But as far as
But not entertainment. And
that's lost. you
Sal,
know?
you're so right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more segment to go. I don't want you to move. I don't want you to breathe. I don't want you to do nothing but sit down and don't move. We're going to come right back. Boy, you look so lovely. Purdy. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to increase your business? Are you looking to take your business or organization to the next level? Well, look no further. The Michael Leonetti Variety Show has everything you need to become a great success. Contact us now to get all the information you need to take your business to the next level.
Boy, that was fast. Well, I got to tell
That's
you.
what she said.
What, really?
What?
Who said that? Wow. Wow. I'm just going to say.
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say, wow.
Wow.
Is this my last segment?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, because I'm. Oh, thank you, Rick. Because I'm looking at the clock. You know, I got to tell you, the world that we live in is a blessing. Every day we wake up is a blessing. because people look at life. They say rose-colored glasses, but I got to tell you something.
These are red.
Are they red? They look very. They look like what was that
rosy.
girl's name that was on television? Had the red glasses. She had a TV show.
Pippi Longstockings?
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Okay.
That's who you remember.
Oh, wow.
geez, oh, yeah,
Sally Jesse Raphael. I don't know. I always like to thank my brother who's doing a magnificent job for me. He's really great. He has taken this podcast to a television show so far in what he does because the editing. A special thanks to Rick Manning. We call him the Wizard because he's always doing wizardry things in there. God knows what he's doing. And he's
The Oz.
The Oz. He's
Yeah.
doing
The man behind the counter.
You know, in the movie, I say this all the time with the Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man, when they were leaving, he says to the wizard, "I want a heart." And he says, "Why?" He says, "Because I want one." And the wizard looked at the Tin Man and said, "A heart is not judged how much it loves, but how much it's loved by others." And I never forgot that line in that movie that was so prolific, so profound, which is true. Because, in life, situations happen. And, tragedies happen in people's lives, but you have to stay grounded in God. And I say this all the time. You got to stay grounded. You have to believe. Sal went through so much health problems. You beat cancer how many times?
3 times.
3 times he beat cancer. Beats me every time for the bill.
Yeah.
We go out. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm only teasing. Sal's a good hearted because I'm always ragging on it, but Sal always fights for the bill. Always. He says, "I got it after I pay it." So I got it. I'm only teasing. What do you want to say, Melissa, before we close the show out?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. It was really nice to meet you and everything. It's fun finding out about us.
You know my pots and pans?
I do have your pots and pans. They're clean.
Good, thank you. You
Yeah.
can hold them. Sal, what would you like to say, Sal?
Well, thank you. Much success on what you're going through. And I tell you what,
thank you, buddy.
I appreciate
I
that.
appreciate that. Robert Lacy, you're the best, baby. I'm telling you something. How's my girl doing?
She's doing great. She's going to be performing this weekend, too, downtown. So she's doing her poetry stuff.
She's doing
Shout
that?
out Niece, yep. So, yeah.
She's a sweetheart, boy. I got to tell you something. You had a good time at the concert, huh?
It was amazing.
How about the food?
Bro, we wanted the recipe so bad, but we were just going to have to bring you in as caterer or something.
I'm ready. I need a job. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every week. If I had Aladdin's lamp, I had one wish to make. I would not wish for caviar or any special dish. I would not wish for dollars yet, and dollars I have few. I wish to come to a studio, go to a recording studio, place like this, place for me to perform, so I could bring my talent for people like you, because I was gifted by the Lord, especially be at my age, to have the power of a guy 25 years old. How long is this going to last? Who knows? Every day's a blessing for me, and I want to thank Sal Santiago. Sal, to me, you're the best
Thank you, brother.
that I have ever met in my entire life. I kid you, but I love you from the pit of my heart and soul.
Love you too, buddy.
Robert Lacy, you are a true humanitarian. What you have done for children, and it's what you are doing will live in infamy. You understand me? And I thank you so very much for being so nice. Melissa.com. Go with Melissa.com.
What a nice addition to the show.
Oh, with her? Oh, she made it. She made it all.
Somebody that looks good, be on the
Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait a minute.
Finally got his little
Whoa! Is that how it is?
That's how it is.
Well, all my suits are like cleaners. What can I tell you?
I'm a truthful guy. You know that.
Yeah, thanks, Sal. Thank you. You're a married man, Sal.
Yeah, that's all right.
Watch it, Sal. Right the hell you're going. But most of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because let me tell you something, without the big man upstairs, I never would have made that journey through hell. And I thank him publicly and thank him for everything, for the good and the bad. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being so kind to watch me every week. You guys have been the best. God bless you. We'll see you next week. See you, everybody.